right, and we're back with another episode, and joining me today, Scarlett Butler. How are you two doing?
Hi, good. How are you?
I'm not bad. I'm sweating.
Us too.
Oh my God, I'm over here.
It's early and I'm sweating. It's super hot in here.
No, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. So to start things off, tell us a little bit about yourselves and where you guys come from.
So I'm Joni and this is Troy. And actually, a lot of people, unless you hear us on stage arguing about who's the better driver, would not realize that we're married because we have different last names. But yeah, we're based out of Calgary, Alberta. And we kind of got into this the opposite way as songwriters who became artists. So we, as songwriters, we've had hits for Shane Yellowbird and the Higgins and written with Neil Towns and Bobby Wills and a whole bunch of people that people would know. But we were a little bit more behind the scenes. And then this last year, we've decided to do our own artist project, which is Scarlett Butler.
Nice. And tell us more how you met. You met within the industry, I'm assuming?
Yeah, we met as at a songwriters event here in Calgary, and we didn't meet that night. We just kind of both heard each other's stuff, and I thought you were pretty talented, and pretty good looking. So
I thought you were talented and cute too.
So, and then we just kind of we started writing together, and the first song we ever wrote together was Pickup Truck for Shane Yellowbird. So
nice. All right. And tell me more on how the name Scarlett Butler came about.
Well, so we watch a ton of movies as couples do. And one of Joni's favorites is Gone with the Wind. And I hadn't really watched it because for those of you that haven't watched it, it's like an insanely long movie. It's basically like two movies in one movie. But we watched it, and then we've watched it a few times, and it's one of Joni's favorites. But the interesting part about it is that Scarlett O'Hara marries Rhett Butler briefly somewhere in the middle of that epic movie, and for a short time her name is Scarlett Butler, but I don't know that you ever actually hear the name spoken out loud. But Joni thought, when we were talking about band names and thinking about us as a couple but also as a duo, it's a great way for us to have a name that represents us together, but individually we also have our own things going on. So yeah,
for sure. Nice. Okay. And now let's talk quarantine. I know things are opening up now, which is great. But tell me your kind of like your biggest struggles during quarantine. How'd you guys get through it?
I think like anybody else, we've been home a lot, and we have, only a couple of floors here to roam around. But, and when you're both doing your own musical pursuits, you have to have your own kind of quiet space. So there's been some moments where we've both had stuff going on, and we try to keep some space between us so that we don't kind of trip on each other's musical efforts. But I think the biggest thing is we did realize how much we actually do like one another. Not only do we love one another, but we like one another. And so we just had a lot of fun with playing and doing jigsaw puzzles and
tons of puzzles, man.
Yeah.
Like way too many. And
then started a band. So, because such a good time to do that in the music industry, is that, because music industry is going so well in the pandemic, but actually it did give us more time to create together and put out some songs, which has been really fun.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. And would you say just starting the band and songwriting and all that was the one good thing you guys kind of came up with during quarantine?
I would say, besides the musical side of what we've been doing with the single and the last year of putting out music, the one thing that we've really been able to do is spend time with family, spend time with each other, and really be less scheduled. I think the one thing that happened during the pandemic for us is we had to, stop, filling our weekends full of stuff to do. And what I realized is that I'm overscheduled most of the time. So I think when things go back to normal, as they start to go back to normal, I think the one thing we both recognize is that we need to just be a little more careful of that. And that was, to me, a positive thing that came out of it, besides the music.
One thing that hurt a little bit was right at the very beginning of the pandemic. I was supposed to play at the Bluebird Cafe in April. And as soon as the borders started closing at the beginning of or end of March, it was just like, no, don't stay open. But, at the end of the day, it was for the right reasons. And I'm putting it out to the universe to bring those types of opportunities back because, it was to keep everybody safe and healthy. And that's all we would have wanted.
Absolutely. So it's not set up yet to go back at a certain time?
No, I mean, now that the border is starting the restrictions are starting to kind of relax a little bit, we're starting to plan for our next trips down. So this was an opportunity with a publisher that I've been working with there. So I'm hopeful that, everything's fully functional in Nashville now. It's just us as Canadians making the pilgrimage down there. So
yeah, we're behind on everything.
A little. Yeah.
We're behind. Okay, so we never got a chance to chat about this last time, but you guys did a song, Looking for a Lockdown with You, with various artists. Tell us your experience with all of that, because it was for a fundraiser you guys did.
Yeah, it actually started out with a radio station in Camrose, and they're actually the first country music station in Canada ever, and they're one of the biggest, CFCW, and they had asked us, Greg Shannon and Stella Stevens asked us, hey, would you guys be interested in doing this kind of fun thing on the show? And we created this song on air with them, and when we were at the end of it, we recorded it because I'm a music producer as well. And we recorded it, and they were like, man, like, we really should do something with this. And it turned into, well, why don't we get a person to sing on? Why don't we do like a little fundraiser thing? And it went from that to, we got Aaron Goodvin, Michelle Wright, Hall of Famer Michelle Wright, CCM award-winning Dwayne Steele, and CBC Heartland's Amber Marshall. And you were kind enough to come along and help us film us recording her at OCL. And so by the end of it, we had this big thing, this epic sort of, musical thing that we did. And so it benefited Unison Benevolent Fund, which is a fund that helps to give money to musicians and people in the music business that are going through difficult times. And so it was just a really great way for us to do something musical that was topical and to help, our people in our business. And so it was a really, really great experience for us.
Yeah. And you guys did some like online Zoom interviews, like with everybody, and then select winners that won, correct?
Yeah, there was an online concert that with the whole gang. So it was really fun to pull us together and do a little concert for the winners. And then Amber did a special video for one lucky winner as well. And so just was a really fun way. Like, we haven't played too many live shows with other musicians in a while, but this kind of Zoom, we call a songwriters round, with people that I grew up listening to on the radio. Like, I used to sing Michelle Wright songs when I was performing in my hometown, and it's such a crazy, awesome opportunity to be able to not only record a song with her and then do a little concert with her. So I was quite excited, and it was just the winners were really touched as well. So, and
it was great to radio got behind us, the industry got behind us, and it ended up that, the song was played coast to coast, and we were able to get the song into the top 50 and raise a whole bunch of money for Unison. So, it was a no-brainer project to be involved in. Absolutely.
Yeah, no. And Amber, I know, going to the studio, like, that was a lot of fun, and meeting Amber was great. I know she's going to be teaching me to ride a horse sometime soon.
Wow.
Yeah, I've never ridden a horse, and I joked with her online when she posted her horses, and then she's like, yeah, let's set this up kind of thing. So we almost did it this weekend, but I was running behind on my video shoot, so we were going to replan maybe when I'm down Stampede week or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, it should be interesting to see.
I definitely
Go get him, cowboy.
I definitely want to see some GoPro footage.
I might even make like a vlog thing. Like, I'm not sure how people react to it, but just my experience with it, and then having Amber be a part of it would be great. So it should be
That's awesome.
should be interesting, because those things make me nervous. I'll tell you now.
Maybe one. Maybe you got that little one.
That's what I said. I told
You're
her.
not off the ground if things go south.
Right? I said, give me the pony. Just give me the pony. We're good. Awesome. Okay. So let's talk your newest single, Love Me Like California. I love this song. It's such a summer vibe, and I mean, I love California as it is. I don't know if you guys know that, but I love it. So tell us about the song and how it all came together.
Well, a lot of people don't know, but after we got married, we honeymooned on the West Coast, and we got advice that was, when you're planning your honeymoon, go to a place that you want to go back to time and time again. And we kind of were like, well, let's go to a bunch of places, so that way we kind of, have lots of options when we come back. So we took a trip from Seattle to San Diego, and we did a road trip on our own, and it was amazing. Took 2 weeks and just traveled that whole 101 highway. And it's always been kind of a happy place for us, because we've gone back a number of times since our wedding. And that's what I came up on a plane. I was listening to this, trying to record some song ideas. And I'm sure people thought I was half nuts, but just singing little pieces. You can remember it later. But the voice memo is hilarious, because you hear like tons of plane noise, that.
Yeah.
Now, so there's this like muffled, oh, you love me like California. And so that's the only, and then something about peaches and beaches. Anyway, I took the idea. I was on a trip down to Nashville, and the next day I had booked co-write with Heidi Ray, who's a Canadian artist. She's amazing. Her and her husband, Johnny Buford, do this Johnny and Heidi thing, and they're amazing. And Bill DeLuigi, who's an amazing writer as well. And we just kind of chased it. And it's just fun summer love. And it reminds me, a lot of those places in the song are places that we loved, and just remind us of that time. And I think, to me, the meaning of the song is really about, we've all been stuck in our houses for a year, and, you don't have to be in California to be loved, to have a summer love. You can do that right here in your own backyard. You can do it right there in the middle of December if you're right with the right person. So I feel like we've had, vacations in our living room, and, the joke, right? If you're going from room to room, that's about the most travel that we've all gotten, but hopefully go back soon. And in the meantime, this is kind of a summer jam to tide us over.
Absolutely. No, I love it, because I don't know if you guys know, I think I've told you guys, I lived in California when I was like 20 for about 6 months.
What part?
Yeah. And LA, I was in Woodland Hills is what it was called. Yeah, I was kind of in the valley, and every morning I'd go to like the beach, I'd go walk down, jog every now and then. I mean, we know how that goes, but but yeah, so I love it out there. There's so much to do. Don't get me wrong, it has its grimy parts, but it's so beautiful down that coast. Yeah. So when you guys came up with the song, I was like, yes, I love this song.
I'm so glad.
And most of the parts that like, even when we did honeymoon, it was along the Pacific coast, like all the way, because you can drive from Seattle to San Diego and stay on the coast the whole way for most of it. And for us, that's where we stick to every time we go down. So, because it's beautiful from top to bottom. It's so wonderful.
Love it. Yeah. Awesome. All right. You guys do a lot of songwriting. What's your favorite thing about co-writing?
The favorite thing about co-writing. Well, you know, I think the best thing for me is that, because I'll speak for myself. I'm very much a person that I do enjoy writing on my own and coming up with, you know, because I have a lot of weird ideas. And so, it's, you know, a lot of times they're difficult to bring to a co-write. But I have found, though, you know, when you are working with other people, if you're stuck, you know, that is the instance where you can start to draw on other people's creativity. You know, if you work with writers with more experience, you get to learn a ton. If you work with younger writers, you get to experience, you know, sort of a new, fresh way of creating something. So, you know, there's that side of it creatively. But I think probably the greatest thing for us, or for me anyways, has just really been building relationships with people that are like-minded. You know, not everybody is your buddy after you write a song, but you can really create some long-lasting, meaningful friendships being creative with someone. So that, for me, is the best part.
For sure.
What about you?
I think, yeah, just to build on what Troy's saying, I mean, the hang, you know, everybody kind of rates their co-writers based on the hang. I think that, you know, sometimes it's not even what idea or musical idea, but usually the conversation that leads to something amazing, some great line, comes from the conversation of people sharing about, you know, breakups and, you know, hookups and, you know, loss of family, and you just share all these fairly intimate details. And in some cases, you're strangers. Like most of the time, especially when it's a new person that you haven't known each other very long, but it's like, hey, nice to meet you. Be completely vulnerable and tell me all your deepest, darkest secrets. So I love that part of that, exchanging that emotional like connection with people. And, you know, like, I'll admit it, I cry a lot, you know, in some songs. So, you know, that's, you know, if you've written a song with me and we've both cried, that's a good day. Check
Sure.
the box.
Nice. And what would you say motivates you both as songwriters?
Motivation. I think motivation for me comes from really wanting to say something new and different. Because I think part of the drive for myself being creative is really about trying to get something out of my head onto paper, because it's like, I feel like if I am able to say it in a way that is truthful and that is honest, I really believe that it can help other people sort of, you know, connect with their own loss or closure that they're trying to get. And really, that's the greatest reward. I mean, when you write a song and someone comes up to you and tells you how that song, you know, helped them through an experience or helped them connect with something. I mean, that, for me personally, that's probably the greatest reward and the biggest motivator to, you know, to be creative and write music. So,
yeah. I would say for me, I listen to such great songwriters. Like, you know, in recent years, I've really been trying to study like the greats like Guy Clark and Townes Van Zandt and John Prine, and Laurie McKenna is, you know, a newer songwriter that I adore. And I listen to just the epic amount of truth that is in their lyric and just how simply it's put across. And that's, for me, really motivating, is to, you know, Troy said about somebody else going through something, to be the antidote, the way that these songwriters have been an antidote for my bad days and for my tough moments, or like, you know, to be a soundtrack to somebody else's life is a huge responsibility. But to me, I love the prospect of trying to, you know, have a meaningful impact the way that those songwriters have had a meaningful impact on me. And you never know when you're going to hit it. It's like golf. I'm not a great golfer, but like, I would imagine that you just never know, is the ball going to go really, really far and really, really straight this time? And you keep golfing, even if sometimes you end up in the sand trap or in the water, you know, you keep showing up, trying to have that perfect swing. I don't know. What is
drive? You're
right?
all of your references were on point.
Were they?
I was like,
Okay,
yeah, I was like,
all right.
very impressive.
Sometimes I mix my sports metaphors, so it's like, you know, third inning on the 95th yard line, and, you know,
you did good,
score.
Yeah. Nailed it.
Nailed it. Okay, perfect. Troy, you were saying you come up with some weird ideas. So what is the weirdest, most awkward way you've ever come up with a song?
Oh, I would say when I'm coming up with the weirdest ideas, it's like just a lot of times it's just my brain kind of deciding that, I wrote this one tune. It's called A Flat Minor, and it's about there was a joke on CBC, basically like, oh, what do you get when you throw a piano down a mine shaft? A flat minor. So I thought a song about, and so I wrote it in the key of A flat minor, and I think a part of that exercise is really about, when we're writing for commercial country, when we first started out, I personally was really trying to be super cool and super pro. And, I was just trying too hard. And what I discovered is the more I did that, the worse I got. And it happened really fast. So I kind of panicked and I'm like, what is happening? What I realized is that I wasn't allowing myself to be just joyful and be myself. So part of this thing of coming up with weird ideas was really just about being joyful and allowing myself sometimes to just have fun with it.
For sure. Okay. And so with the release of the couple singles you guys have now, is this a plan for an EP coming up soon, or what's in the works there?
Yeah, we're definitely working towards an EP. We've already kind of thought about we've also been writing for a decade, and we have songs that we just can't wait to share. So there'll definitely be more singles in the coming year. And in terms of just working towards a full length album, we also continue to work on our own stuff as well. So that's been a lot of fun too, to try to figure out what is our sound versus what is our individual sound. And Troy's weird. I'm just kidding. You're not weird, but he's got some of his really distinct stuff that he wants to do. I've got some of my stuff as well. And so Scarlett Butler is this kind of like new playground for us to see what fits, what is the kind of like truth in our message. And I think for us, because we're a couple, we want to spread love. And that's certainly something that we've been we've had a rough couple years. The population has had a rough couple years, not we, but like we all need more love. And so, I think if there's any message that will be in our EP, it's that, is just like, just try to be happy and be loving. And that's a big body of the work that we're working on. So there'll be more. And
the other side of it too is that this project, I think part of why we wanted to do this for a little while now is that we've had songs where it's like, man, we love this song, but it just didn't fit with the artist that we were working with, or, they had already cut a bunch of songs. And so we're like, oh man. And part of our job as songwriters and publishers that we're always trying to get the songs cut and placed. This is a great vehicle for us to say, hey, remember that song that so-and-so almost cut and didn't? We should. And so that really is what is behind at least us starting this anyways. And so we're excited about that.
Between the two of us, we've written literally thousands of songs. And so it's so fun for us to go back with duo ears as artists, to go back and listen to some of those songs and try those on and sing them. And, it's been good.
Yeah.
Very cool. Okay. And do you guys are you guys planning on doing any shows or any lined up that people can come see you guys play these songs? Or
well, right now, the world's still kind of reopening. We have a couple things going on during Stampede. We're doing a show on
September 15th. We're going to be playing at Olympic Plaza.
Okay.
Around there, and it'll be like a acoustic type of show. Calgary Arts Development has us doing, and it's during a celebration, and I can't remember what the show is called, but it's basically September.
So clearly 15th. We're really good at this.
We're like, yeah, totally. go to scarlettbutler.com for all the details.
Yeah, but we've done, like, interestingly, just even during the pandemic, people have been calling us over to their driveway to celebrate their, mother and father's 50th anniversary, because that, made it special. And so we have played a little bit through the pandemic, but I think now that we're kind of in that early infancy of kind of reopening and what that looks like, we'll be doing some more. So we've got some emails to get back to, but more coming soon. So we're excited about that. We love to play live. We love people, and we love just kind of seeing how the music hits. It's totally different when you're on this side of a phone and somebody's, taking you on a ride in their vehicle, but you're not there to see them. So we love to play live. It's a lot of fun.
For sure. Okay. Last thing, tell everyone where they can find you on social media.
So, it's like, got scarlettbutler.com.
He's been pinching my leg.
I know,
the
like
whole
every
time
time
when he wants me. So the one time he doesn't pinch my leg, and then he shoots me a dirty look.
Okay, so scarlettbutler.com is our website. Twitter is Scarlett Butler. So, like, hi, Scarlett Butler. Instagram is We Are Scarlett Butler. And Facebook is Scarlett Butler Music. Just to keep it interesting.
Well, you know what? We decided that we want to make this a skill testing portion of the how committed are you
exactly
to us?
If you follow, we'll love you all.
We had some character limit issues with some of them. But anyway, yes. Yeah. So just Google us too. You'll find us. And if you come to our website, scarlettbutler.com, you will find all of our links there. You can find us on YouTube. You can do all the things.
And we're super friendly.
We are. So please say hi if you do, because we would love to say hi back and, ask you your favorite colors and whether you're a Sagittarius and all the things.
Invite you over for coffee and tea.
Yes, we're good with coffee and tea.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. All right, guys, go grab their newest single, Love Me Like California, available on all platforms, correct?
Yes.
Awesome. Yep. And if you guys are confused on the links, I'll have them posted down below. And thanks so much, you guys, for taking the time today, and we'll chat soon.
Thank you, Codi.
Thanks, Codi.
Anytime. And I'm sure I'll see you during Stampede at some point.
Oh.
Yeah, we're gonna be around for the good chunk of it. So yeah, hit us up.
Perfect. Definitely will. All right, guys. Take care, and we'll chat soon.
Okay, man. Thanks, man.
See you
soon.
See you later.